Good morning. Right, okay, let's have a look who's here, and good morning to everybody. And first order of the day is to invite my co-host John, and hopefully things are going to go swimmingly, and we'll have vision and sound and everything will work spectacularly well on this gloriously sunny Thursday. Waiting for John to click the button. He looks like he's going to miss, so I've got to wait for that to finish and then I'll try again. I hope you're all well. Got plenty of topics to discuss today, and I promise that there is I'm going to find John. It says loading. No, that didn't work. Okay, we're going to try once more. Waiting for users to join, loading, and etc. Morning, John.
A new one on me came up, failed to publish video.
Oh, right. Okay, you found a new error message. Right, okay, well, let Fight Talk know about that. And also this morning, let's invite Stephen. And once Stephen's on board, waiting for users to join. Yes, we're looking good. And we wouldn't be complete unless we had Peter with us. So invited Peter to join us, and we're looking good so far.
Morning all.
Morning, Peter. Morning, Stephen. Unless Peter's making a coffee, of course, in which case we might have to try again.
Who's coming?
Yep. Okay. Morning, Peter. Right. Okay. So we have sound, vision, and all this.
Good morning.
Right. Good morning, and welcome to Blabbing for Britain, episode 30. 39.
30s.
Right. Yeah, we've made it to episode 39, and we're happy about that. And so, good morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Peter.
Morning, everybody.
Right. Okay. Well, we have a good audience this week, and we know why. Because over the weekend, Blab just closed its doors. A message went up on the site saying, we've enjoyed our time here, but we were closed, and they just brought the shutters down and left anybody who hadn't downloaded the recording in the lurch, because the site disappeared entirely. And if you hadn't downloaded your shows, then but the problem that obviously created problems for people who hadn't moved from Blab. But I'd just like to say, from my own point, that if it wasn't for Blab, the four of us would not be sat here today.
True.
We would not know what we know now. We would not have had such fun in the 35 weeks that we spent over there. And to Team Blab, which is Brittany, Anna, Justin, and the tech guys. They did us proud over all of that period. I did 80 odd shows there. I got 80 odd recordings, and despite the occasional glitch, everything was wonderful. And also, we've met so many other people in the communities on Facebook, and there are at least 4 Facebook groups: Blab Nation, Born to Stream Live, Blabaholics, Joelcom's group as well. So we've become, well, we're part of the video chat scene, and we're on the scene. It's thanks to Blab. So, John, do you have any thoughts?
I actually won't miss it.
Okay.
Because everybody I've followed has moved on. Yeah. Some people are moaning about the new things, don't do everything Blab did, but hey, that's life, Every time you change your car, it's different from the one you had before, isn't it? So I'll miss some people, but I'm pretty sure 99% of the people I was interested in there. Hey, look who's behind you, Peter.
It's Panto season. Behind you,
behind
Peter.
You, Peter.
Oh,
Other side. Hold on.
it's Norman wisdom.
Yeah.
It's Norman wisdom. Right. Just quick.
Anyway, I see we've got some more viewers today as well. So I'm hoping the posting round. I've now cracked the fact that I can just post onto the groups the one I post on my own now. I should have thought how simple that was.
These things. Stephen, your thoughts?
It was a trailblazer, I think, for the video streaming. I knew nothing about it before I went onto Blab and found you guys. And I think that I've seen press where people are saying they're congratulating Blab about the way in which they closed the thing down, which was so long, thank you very much. We didn't charge you anything for this service, and we've decided that we're moving on. And I've seen people saying good things about that and bad things about that. Yes, the Fire Talk that we're on now doesn't have the functionality that Blab had, and as John said, that's life. Everything will settle down, the market will settle down, and the products will just keep on coming. And we've been, well, you two actually have been sort of really involved in letting Blab know what the market wants, and indeed all the other purveyors of software. So I'm dead chuffed that they were around.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, you've recently taken over looking after or promoting Mimi TV. They're a successor to Blab, aren't they? In that it's a different but a same community of people, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'll come on back to Mimi in a moment. Peter, your thoughts on Blab?
It was an okay platform. I just think it just, like all video conferencing, it just never caught on in Britain. And don't know why, but video conferencing as a whole, no matter who's doing it, I just don't know what's going on there. But with the British people, I know, and the people I speak to, they're absolutely terrified of video conferencing. Now, I've used Talk, which is the same as Fire Talk, they own the same thing, and I used to practice songs in there and everything. It was a fantastic, still is a fantastic. Haven't used it for a while, I'll probably download it again, but I just don't think video conferences catching it. I wasn't too keen on Blab, to be honest with you. There was so much rubbish went on it, and I don't think people took it serious. And those that did take it serious, they got out pronto.
Yeah,
That's my
question for you, Peter, from Alan. And good morning, Alan. Why do you think British people don't want to use it, Peter?
Well, I'll tell you, British people are shy. I had an online bookkeeper, and she was terrified of going and meeting me online in a one-to-one so we could talk over, share the screen with the books. And when she eventually did, she says, "Look, Peter, I'm so glad you've done this because I now know you." Because we lived 3 hours apart, you know? And I'm not going to answer that. And basically, it always happens to me, does it? I'm not going to answer it. And so I find that British people going on screen are very reserved. And in my industry, I have pleaded with them to use live videos during the seminars that I can't get to.
Yep.
And I just wish someone would pick up that. It would save a fortune in business. The big companies use it, the big oil companies use it. But the small businesses, they're just terrified of it as well. They don't want to use it.
All right.
That's why I hope that's answered the questions from what I see it.
Yeah, just I mean, we'll obviously refer to Blab in future episodes. I can hear myself. Right, okay, that's better. With some fondness, because it got us all together and it worked.
You've definitely got it, though, Stephen.
A minute.
I'll be back in 2. I'll cut this off.
Okay, do you want to pop in, Alan? While there's this free chair?
Yep. Okay.
You'll probably have to invite Alan in because he attempted to be a guest and failed. So, oh, here he comes.
Right, press the camera this time. Okay, yeah, just one final thing. I mean, we'll look back on Blab fondly, I'm sure, as time goes on, and we will refer to it. But I think in terms of customer relations, I think the CEO of Blab shot himself in the foot when he announced the closure on Medium with the blog post. And Stephen said a lot of people would have got good feelings about Blab, but his letter didn't help because he just said goodbye. He's entitled it the Great Blab Experiment, and it's like we were lab rats, and it's the thing that we weren't people, we were just numbers, and he was into his analytics and watching who was coming and going. Okay, Alan, I'm going to try again, and this time you've got 30 seconds to accept. You've accepted, and you should now be loading. Right, okay, on to brighter things. First of all, people who were on Blab are moving to FireTalk and to Huzzer and to Mimi. Now, I had the pleasure last Friday of talking to Lorraine of Mimi.tv. That's MWE.tv. And it is a British-backed video chat service. And basically, you can go on there and up to 6 people can chat 24/7 without any problems at all. It's totally free. And you have most of the facilities that we have here on FireTalk. But you don't get it. You get a replay of the show, but you don't get your recording. So it's not professional quality, but it's good enough quality. If you've got some friends and you want to chat live, it is a direct, as Stephen said, a direct Blab replacement. So that's Mimi.tv, and I just type the URL in so that you can go and have a look at it. Hopefully that's it. Okay, so Mimi.tv, if you go and take a look at that, totally free, British backed, and is worthy of a look around, if nothing else. I can't see many shows moving there, but it is, for a personal situation, a great thing. Have you had a look, Stephen?
Not yet, no.
Morning, Alan.
But are you going to? Morning, Alan. Are you going to move? Are you going to consider moving to? Oh no, because you'll want the recording capabilities that we get.
I would love to be all British, but we've made the journey to FireTalk, and people who watchers have moved to FireTalk as well. Mimi.tv, as I said, great for chats. If you wanted to chat with 4 or 5 people in public or in private, no worries at all. But for a professional quality, it's not at the level that FireTalk and Huzzer and Crowdcast are at yet. I mean, it can get there, obviously, but right. Alan, your thoughts on why the British are so reticent about appearing on camera?
No sound, I'm afraid.
With no sound.
Before you let Alan go away,
yeah,
Peter hasn't come back on yet, and I'm wondering if it's the issue about once you go off of a broadcast, you can't get back in on that broadcast.
But you can type in the live chat and say I'm back.
Sure, but okay, maybe it's changed since. I mean, it was a while back that I tried it. But
you can leave, you can come back, but you don't get the TV, the camera icon when you come back.
Right. Okay.
So you can only be invited back in. You can only ask to be a guest once.
Yep. Alan.
No, still no noise.
Well, not really. Right. Okay. Well, good observation about it being a bit buggy today, and I want to address that if I may. Crowdcast, Huzzer, FireTalk are all based on the same technology, WebRTC, and WebRTC is looked after by Google, who made their code open source, and that code is accessed through an organization called Talkbox. And the people who run the sites that I've just spoken about, 3 sites, pay Talkbox to put all this together seamlessly. And all the platforms do is build a wrapper around it. So they decide how the screen's going to look. But the actual video itself is from TopBox. Now, if one platform has problems, then all will have problems. The technology is not perfect. We recognize that. It's the site really can only go so far in getting it right. If TopBox has a problem, they can report it, but they can't resolve it. So we have to remember that we're still 12 months down the road on the cutting edge, and this is emerging technology. So we accept that sometimes things are not going to work, and sometimes we won't be able to hear our guests going on. No sound.
Has Alan given his microphone permission?
Right, okay, now when you go onto a show for the first time, top left hand corner on the URL bar, you'll see a green lock, and that green lock says gives you permissions. And if I click on mine, and I get a drop down which says allowed by you for microphone and for camera, and on the right hand side of the screen there's another camera. And that camera, when you drop down, shows which microphone and which camera you've given permissions to. And after my wonderful speech, Alison has disappeared, and hopefully will reappear shortly. I mean, that's the way. I mean, we had a situation. I did the show with Sandrine last night, and where we interviewed Anthony, and we had similar problems. He couldn't get sound, and he ended up on his iPad, and that worked wonderfully well. Okay, well, okay, we'll take it in turns today, and Peter's coming back. Okay, now we know why it's happening, but the rest of the world is just waking up to the fact that Britain, or Great Britain, is a force in sport, because we are second, are we not, Stephen, in the medals table?
50 medals, as I recall, in total.
49 of them from Stoke-on-Trent, is that right, Stephen?
Slight exaggeration, John, but yes, 2 brilliant goals, I believe, for Staffordshire. But yeah, we're above the Chinese, which is an amazing achievement. So somebody's got it right. And when you look at the sort of comparison between top 5 or 6 countries and the rest, the other 100, you know, we've got more gold medals than most of the world combined, which is a stunning achievement. So somebody needs to be congratulated there.
Yeah.
And although I'm still not sure why golf is in there, but still be. And maybe cricket should become an Olympic sport.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Stephen. Now, in cricket news, there is. So we have a running joke. There is no cricket news.
Hey.
Peter, your thoughts on the Olympics?
Well, it's a funny thing. I'm not a great sport. I'm into Miss Cycling, as you know, just recently. Done 34 mile on Sunday, which I'm very proud of. But let me tell you, I turned on the television, I'll watch a bit of Olympics, and it couldn't have been more exciting, because the first one was the velodrome for the 2 false starts.
Oh, yeah.
I went, oh, that's good. And then I watched the final of the hockey last night at the end of it, and I thought, wow. And it was quite exciting when there's a bit of that stuff goes on. So the 2 times that I watched it, I did enjoy it. And I felt so proud of the British people, you know.
Yeah.
And that was good. And it does gives people hope. And I know they got a lot of money from the lottery funding. But here's the thing, right? So the velodrome down in Manchester, I believe, has produced a lot of people.
Yeah.
Think of the people that could maybe be good riders if there was velodromes elsewhere.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
North Britain, Middle Britain, South Britain, that they can get to. So there seems to be an elite that get put in there, you know. And I think that's one of the problems with it, because there's obviously a lot of good talent and it's hidden and nobody knows about it. But the Olympics I've seen kids getting on bikes, I've seen kids, you know, on a TV making them do a run and stuff like that. And it's been really good, because you'll see people really involved with it. You know, they've got heroes to look up to now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Across a wide range of sports, I agree, Peter. Good examples being set of sportsmanship and sportsmen.
There was an American and a New Zealander running in the 5,000 meters.
Yeah.
And one tripped up the other one accidentally, but then went back to pick her up and run around with her.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I even Facebook posted about it because it was so inspirational, so emotional what she did, and inspiring. Really, it's just, you know, and when you see these youngsters doing what they do on that pole vault and the parallel bars, it scares the crap out of me just thinking about it. But they're so dedicated. It's a great story, really great story.
Yeah, we've got brilliant people representing us out there, and they've worked damned hard to get there. John, your thoughts?
I'm very pleased, but I'm also, because as you know, I'm involved in canoeing. I'm not a canoer, but I'm a canoeist these days. But I am involved in the running of a club. I'm going to have to say that we've actually suffered from a dearth of money that's been diverted to the Olympic squad from grassroots. That's my only objection, if you like, is that grassroots has suffered to finance elitism.
Well, when the medal numbers were rising and we got to 19 golds and 50 medals, as Stephen said, my first thoughts were bring back Cameron, but because he must have been responsible for it. But apparently,
it was that grey fella, wasn't it?
Apparently, it was John Major.
Yeah.
When he founded the lottery, and the lottery funds UK sport, and UK sport gives out the money. And as Peter said, it might be in the way they give it out, they might be able to spread it around a bit more. But that's where it stems from. And the Australians and the French and the Germans and the Italians and the Chinese especially wonder what is going on, because again, I'm going to bring the cricket into this. We're batting way above our weight, which is wonderful. And we've seen a lot of different sports we wouldn't normally watch, and for the BBC, we've got to thank them for that, because the broadcasters have done us proud. And whilst I agree with those people who say, "Well, where's my normal program's gone?" It is once every 4 years. It's for 2 weeks, and you know, it's just this summer. It should be on holiday.
And there's plenty of other channels to watch nowadays, anyway. That you can
I mean that's very true, isn't it?
I've got to say that Sheila likes it. That she was watching it, and I went upstairs and went on my iPad and watched something else, YouTube and things like that. I can't watch sports every day, but it does give you a bit of pride when you see them going in and getting all their goals. See, the likes of the Chinese and all these people and the Russians before. That was the say, look how great our country is. That's all they done. The kids were brought up at an early age and says, you will be doing this, and that's what you'll be doing. Yeah. But a lot of these teenagers, I don't know, a lot of them do it part-time, but I think, but I'm right in saying that some of them are sponsored now to do it full-time, really.
The average UK athlete is funded for £28,000 a year.
All right, okay. Right, okay. There is some sort of funding for the elite, yeah, to do, and then they're going to make a lot of money.
It don't buy you a lot, though, does it?
Well, I mean, other facilities they use in addition to that, presumably they are.
Well, I think £28,000 a year allows them to live.
Yes. Okay.
I felt
have to, buy their own clothing type stuff, but of course, if you're in a team, you usually get your clothing provided anyway. So, but
and what do we think?
Well, in the canoeing, so we'll point that one out.
What do we think of the clothing? John just mentioned it. The clothing. Do you think it's snazzy, or do you think it's
far too designer for my liking?
Right.
Budgie smugglers, as our Australian friends call them, are just beyond belief.
Are you on about the divers?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
There was in the Daily Hate there was an article saying that the Chinese who came in third or fourth place gave each other a manly handshake, and the two Brits who won all bloody over each other. You can just imagine the sort of blood pressure increase that such a disgraceful thing.
Is that what things have come to? Oh, dear
Yes, it is with that lot. With daily hate, certainly is.
Yeah.
Got to find something to talk about, haven't they?
That's very true. Very true.
Are we staying on the Olympics or changing topic?
No, change topic. Anything goes.
Do you remember last week we talked about your idea of getting in some Chinese children trackers?
Mm.
And then I sent you a note saying
Yes,
I'd seen them for old fogies at Lloyd's Chemists Better Life Centre.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yesterday I went to visit my best client, and he said, "I've got this new toy." I said, "What's that?" He said, "It's for Chloe. Chloe is the dog, and she's quite often in the office, but she wasn't that day. His wife wasn't in, and when they both come in, the dog comes as well."
Okay.
And he said, "Look at this," and he went, "Out comes the iPhone. Beep 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 beep. Off it sends to GSM a message. The message transmits a receipt, and from the receipt up pops the Google Maps showing exactly where the doggy is."
Yeah, and what's
19 quid from direct from China off eBay.
19 quid. Yeah, we've got at the moment we've got 3 suppliers sending us samples from all of China, as you can imagine. But we've also got an American company who got some Kickstarter funding, and we're waiting for some samples for them to come as well. But everywhere you go, in terms of market research, you find you can do that. Oh bloody hell! So what the sort of message you just gave across, John. It's impressive, isn't it, these days? And it's so easy.
A GSM card to make it work. That means you've got to have a top-up card.
Yeah.
And people seem to miss that.
Well, when I get these things in the post, I'll show you next time. Oh, well, no, when they arrive, because there's a hell of a market for it.
Yep.
Mm. And just while we're changing the subject quickly, TEDx Stoke, the TED Talks.
Yeah, TEDx.
Variant. The website will go live this afternoon, tedxstoke.com, and we'll be Facebooking it and tweeting it and all that sort of stuff. But we've I wish I could tell you about the speaker that is kind of our star speaker, but I can't. So I'll be able to tell you about that in the middle of September, but it's gonna TED is all about changing people's lives. Actually, from what they see as in the presentations, and this one's going to be a belter. So I shall keep on telling you about it, and as soon as it becomes available, I'll tell you who's on the list of the speakers. It's a whole day event.
Yep.
You're gonna have about 10 speakers, and then interspersed between the speakers, you have to show TED or TEDx videos as well. Mm-hmm. We're really chuffed about it so far. So that was the first piece of plugging stuff that I wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, I don't know if you know where, but in Staffordshire, John, I don't know if you know, and there'll be a local equivalence in where you both are. There's a thing called the Business Innovation Centre, and it's an EU-funded.
Not for long.
No, actually, on this one occasion, John, you're on, because they signed a contract for something called an innovation grant just before Brexit. Okay, yeah. A couple of months before the Brexit vote, they signed a contract with the ERDF, the European Regional Development Fund, their project, which is all about helping businesses in Stoke, or in Staffordshire actually, to create more high-value jobs and products and innovation within SMEs. And we've only gone and won a grant, which is really helpful for our product development in the mobile space that we're taking forward even more now with the BIC grant. So I just wanted to big up those guys. Yeah,
we have an innovation centre in Birmingham at what was Aston Science Technology Park, which is where I worked when I worked for Sanderson for just shy of 10 years. Started life as Aston Technology Limited, became...
Yeah, I know Aston Science Park well.
But it's not called Aston Science Park anymore. It's become Birmingham Technology Park.
Okay.
And the reason though that is that Birmingham University renamed their science park to something completely different.
But Birmingham University was the city of Birmingham University about 8 years ago, and then they changed the name.
No. You're getting confused with the old Polytechnic.
I'm confused.
No. BCU was something else before it was BCU.
No, BCU is the former Polytechnic. Birmingham University is in Selly Oak, which includes the Queen Elizabeth complex.
Yes.
Because they train doctors and everything. So Birmingham University and Birmingham City University are completely different. And then there's Aston University between the three of them. So the one is based in Perry Bar, which is Birmingham City University, but also has offshoots around the area. And if you like, Birmingham University is our Oxford of Birmingham, with its traditional spires and old-fashioned buildings. And Aston University is right in the city centre and is very, very modern 60s plus buildings. So we actually have three universities, but Birmingham City University is the old Polytechnic.
But is the business, are they sponsoring, or have they got European funds to spend
Well,
on?
they're all getting European funds, all of them. But Birmingham University had its own science park, and then Aston University had Aston Science Park. But Birmingham University has become the European something or other centre development or something like that. So about 8 months after that happened, they renamed Aston Science Park into Birmingham Technology Centre. Can I talk about technology?
Yeah.
Got a moment?
Yeah.
When I was a youth, and I'm talking 18, 19 here, and I didn't pass my driving test till I was about 19. I used to go on the bus to do tech support at customers, and I used to carry this 5 megabyte removable disk, about this size, diameter, can't see my hands, but I'm talking almost 2 foot wide, about that deep, and you lifted the handle up, dropped it in, pushed the handle down, and it removed the space, and heads went into this platter about 18, 19 inches in diameter. So I used to carry that on the bus when I was about, as I said, 17, 18, 19 type touch. We then went through, eventually came to external 3.5-inch discs, and then technology moved on to these. This one's quite poor, it's only 4 gigabytes. And we call these thumb drives, USB.
Yeah. Know them well.
But thumb drives is the term. Well, now we have thumbnail drives, because this is 64 gigabytes, and it literally is the same size as my thumbnail. That removable drive, so it used to fit in a Data General CS machine. Data General, anybody remember that name?
DG, yeah.
Or of an ICL bloke, mate.
Yeah.
Manchester.
They were thousands of pounds for a removable drive.
Yeah.
£17 from Tesco. 4 gigabytes.
Yeah, this computing is going to go mainstream, really. It's just going to take off, but it's good price, that.
And then memory. I've got them here. I've just taken them out of the box. I wanted a new little thing to pop in that camera. I think I showed you all the camera last week that I bought.
Is this the unboxing section of Blabbing?
It is, yeah.
Yes, it is. So here we've got 16 gig SDHC with a carrier micro SD. 16 gig, £12. Or 3 for £16.
Right, okay. Is that the advert for Sandy?
I keep losing little bits and pieces like that, and I end up, where's that from? What's on that?
I don't want to.
I'm actually pissed about this purchase, if you'll pardon my French, because I went into a different Tesco's the day after I bought these, and you can have 3 32 gigs for 25 quid. I'm actually tempted to take them back as I haven't opened them.
One thing you could do, John, is look on eBay and you'll find a 2 terabyte USB 2 flash memory stick.
Yeah.
$12.
Yeah.
It's getting crazy.
But I mean, this is just off the street. You know, these are both Tesco purchases. You know, 3 for 16 quid.
Amazing stuff. Amazing. But as Peter said, managing the information. I mean, I used to work for EMC, you know, the big storage boys.
Oh, yeah, I know EMC well.
And when we were selling, it was always banging on about, you know, it's all very well having brown spinny stuff that you can extend and extend and extend, but managing the information is such an issue.
Selling RAID systems.
Oh, well, there was RAID. There was, I can't even remember what SANS. Oh no, SANS. They were big into SANS, storage area networks.
Have I told my cotton traders story on here?
When you do that's me 4 gigabyte cardy thing. What would you call it? Is it like your USB, John, or is it?
Which? Well, that's the USB, and these are micro ones. These ones.
Yeah.
But these are 16 gig, and they're £12.
And John, what do you use them for mainly?
These go in cameras.
Oh, you're into cameras.
And this I've bought to stick in my tiny. I've got a small laptop. A netbook, I think, is the term for it. But you can leave this in because when you push it in, only the little black piece, which has been rounded so as it doesn't catch, sticks out the side of the USB drive. So I can leave 32 gig in there, and if I want to back something up, I can just save it to there as well as the hard drive.
All right. I was hearing about the Kindle Fire. Somebody got one of them?
Yeah, well, they're down to 49 quid for a Kindle Fire H.
Yeah. And how much gigabyte have they got?
Well, they come in 8, 16 or 32, depending on what you buy.
Yeah. Anything I buy in future will have the biggest because I'm fed up of buying it, and then I run out of.
Yeah, you see, because the thing is, if you buy that bloody iPhone rubbish, you can't add to it. You know, you have to buy in the first place. Whereas my nice new Samsung S7, that came with 32 gig of memory, and I've added another 64 into it.
Maybe do.
I don't know why, because I never would fill a 16 gig, yet alone. But the price was right.
Okay.
I mentioned cotton traders, and my friend Stephen Silk there, he talks about EMC squared or whatever you want to call them. I'll tell you quickly about cotton traders because it will make you laugh. Well, I went as a support engineer to a sales guy selling a system for doing all their mailing management, etc., and all their online selling. And this was a good while back. It was 1996, and we decided that they really needed a RAID system for security. And have you seen Fran Cotton, where he's totally covered, that famous photograph where he's totally covered in mud playing for the British Lions? Well, he's now the chairman of the British Lions, but at that time he was a player, and this man is big. He is massive. And we just had dinner, and he said, could you explain to me what RAID is? So I've done this in the past, and so I kept my little RAID kit in my pocket, which consists of 5 50 pences and 5 1 pound coins. And I put the 5 50 pences out, and then said, these are your 5 discs in your RAID, and you can replace them at any time, and it writes across all 5 discs, so it spreads the data out. And so I used the 1 pound coins to say a record is written to the first one, and then a second record. Sorry, I put 5 plates out, and then I used a 50 pence to say this is the record, and wrote a record to each of the discs. And then it said, but at the same time as it writes a record to disc number 1, it writes a compressed record to disc number 3, which is plate 3, and so on. So that we ended up with 5 compressed records and 5 full-size records on the drive. Oh, I understand that. So you're saying if disc 3 goes, it can be rebuilt using the records off 2, 3, and 2, 4, 5, and 1. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I really understand. I said, I like the way you demonstrated that. That really made it easy for me, a non-technician, to understand. So I got all the £1 coins and I picked the £1 coins up and I put them in a stack. I picked all the 50p coins up, one-handed, put them in the stack. He leant over and he went 1, 2, 3, 4 one-handed and picked up all the 8-inch dinner plates. And I knew then that we were not going to get into an argument with this gentleman.
I've still got what's known as an EDS 80 up in the loft somewhere.
Oh, you're going all historical because Alfredo's just asked us what is RAID.
Oh, blimey.
See, we go way back. This is our problem. We know what RAID is, don't we, John? Can you just explain RAID?
Redundant array of inexpensive discs.
And do we still use it?
Yes, actually, I've got a RAID in my PC here.
No. We still use it generally.
The cloud is full of
Yes.
it. So the cloud is based
If
on
you
them.
have a website, it's almost certainly stored on a RAID set
Okay,
of RAID
there you
drives.
are. There you are. Right. Okay. Yeah. The Mike just said that you don't need all this extra storage. You can just put it on the cloud. I thought so. Putting your world on
I'm
the
sorry,
cloud.
I don't. If I'm in deepest Cornwall with no internet connection, how am I going to put it on the cloud?
Absolutely right. It's all about
So
control.
let me tell you, Mike and I actually did a comparison of, Mike posted his 4G speed and I posted my 4G speed, which was considerably faster because he's in the middle of nowhere and I'm in there. But I can't always get on 4G even in Solihull.
Right. I'm glad that you've got the amazing speed down in Cornwall, Mike. It will arrive in Wiltshire one day, but today's not the day.
But just so as Mike knows, my RAID is actually backed up to the cloud using iBackup. So I do have a cloud version of everything.
Yeah, our life in the clouds. Right, which brings us, just go back to video for a moment. Let's go back to video for a moment.
Bypassed Wiltshire.
Obviously not, otherwise I wouldn't be sat here now talking to you. So unless I'm speaking very slowly because of the slowness of the internet. No, right, okay. This week, a new app from Google. Has everybody heard of it? It's called Duo. And this amazing box of tricks allows you to video talk on your phone.
Hasn't iPhone had that for a long time?
Now you may think so. I mean, basically, you can see the person on video on your screen before you accept the call. So you can see whether they are a BA or there's a BA before you accept the call. Now, the thing is that it's cross-platform. So it works on an iPhone, it works on Android. This is the major point, that you can now, from your Android, talk to those people on iPhone. Yeah, using an app. That's its main selling point. It doesn't do anything else, although the frills will come later. It's a very competitive area, isn't it? Video chat on phone. Yeah.
Future.
Yeah. Are any Snapchatters here?
No, not Snapchat. No, I've got WhatsApp.
Yeah, I go with WhatsApp as well. Peter?
It's for making phone calls and taking pictures for. Put all
Just
the phone call on it.
We know. So we're just talking about video chat on your phone. I mean, you joined us from quite a few different places in your local area, haven't you? Because of the phone.
Yeah. It all depends where you are. I'm reluctant to use it. It's got to have good Wi-Fi or good 4G content. And the places I tried to do it from, well, I've done it in my van. I'm not something out of the van and it can be quite handy. In fact, it's interesting because my guys have actually got Android phones, but I've got an Apple phone.
All right.
And
Okay.
it'd be a good platform for me to, how I would use it in my business is let me have a look at that, show me closely. I say, yeah, that's such and such, that's such and such. So yeah, that would be good. Also have, do you know if it does more than one person at the same time?
Well, it's whoever the camera can see, really, but it's just one camera.
It's
One to one.
one to
Yeah.
one. Hence
One to one. Okay, yeah.
Lost the off for just a few minutes, guys. Be back in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So,
Google.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, Peter, go on.
No, I would use technology like that in the business to look at things and you say, oh, let me see the building, and they would show the building and stuff like that, you know. That's what I would use it for.
Okay.
I used mine to join friends chatting the other day on Fire Talk.
What, your Android?
Yeah,
Oh, go on. Tell us how.
just went into I went into the browser and went to Fire Talk.
And you were on air.
Well, I was invited to be on air. I declined.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's the difference with using one of these is you do not get the icon.
Right, the phone icon. Yeah.
The
camera
icon.
Yeah.
It certainly knows, and also in the we were actually trying to compare coming in via Android and coming in via iPhone. You don't get the icon on the iPhone app either. So if you're on a mobile device, you have to be invited in.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But you're just asking live chat, so
That's true. Everybody this morning is on desktop, we can say, because if you go to the viewers, you can see that everybody who's logged in and watching is actually, there would be a mobile symbol next to the name. Right, okay. And the thing about going to that viewers tab is it, right. Now, we've had an influx of people from Blab to Fire Talk, which means that if you go to the Fire Talk front page, if you'd gone there a month ago, they've got featured shows, and that would have given you a month's worth of viewing. If you go to the front page now, you get featured shows is a day's worth of viewing. So we're getting busier. More and more people are arriving. There are more and more shows to watch. Be assured, however, that in the background, people are actively reporting anything, shall we say, strange. So if you want to help the platform, if you see a strange show or a strange account, if you would send a message to support@firetalk.com with the photo, then that would be gratefully received by them, because it helps control the site. And there are more of us than there are of them. So if we can report any problems, obviously we know what they're likely to be. But as they arise, then we can help this platform stay a truly good platform for us all in general. That's the rant over.
right. I again, I'm going back to friends chatting because we're paying to find out the differences with Blab. There is no ability to phase out an individual's volume if you're in the chat. But if you're not featured in the chat, i.e. you're lurking in the lurking but watching, if you right click on any of the four people on view, you actually have a little mini control panel that you can adjust each individual's volume, etc., or mute them with a single click.
So can you just run that by me again? So I go to Peter.
You can't do it, Stephen, because you're on there.
Oh, right. Okay.
But if you're a visitor, not on there, you can go to any individual's picture, right click, select show controls, and then you can mute them or lower their volume if one person is particularly loud, etc.
Right. Okay.
Only watchers can do it, not people who are involved in the chat.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, that needs to go into our book of hints and tips for Fire Talk, because that's, as you say, something that was available on Blab. It's hiding here, but it's nice to know that it shows apart from, it doesn't show my name. Who am I? But I can see your names. above your pictures. So they are doing things, but I get the impression that they're doing things to their own timescale, and that we can put things on the wish list and they will take care of them in their own time, which is, rather than being driven by a noisy elite, as it were. Yeah. So I did a tour. Went on Crowdcast yesterday, crowdcast.io, because I wrote about it. I thought I'd better try it out. It's quite a good platform. I would say it's for marketers though. Crowdcast.io is nearly as good video quality as here, and it's a good sound quality, good stats. And if I was going to run a show where I wanted people to come back and replay it, and say the show's got 15 questions asked during the course of the show, then I can go to question 8 and it will take me on the video to when question 8 was asked. Yeah. So
this is like YouTube bookmarking.
Indeed. Yeah, but it's done automatically. So that's one of the features that stands out over there. Right. Okay. We are fast approaching the hour, and anything else we can talk about? If anybody's got any topics in the audience, if anybody wants to come on camera, then just raise your hand.
Steve Mr. Silk would like to come back in.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
No, didn't work. I'm going to try again, Stephen.
So what? Right. Just a summary of the topics we've done then today.
TEDx Stoke. Have I mentioned that?
The Death Lab.
Olympics.
Mimi
TV.
Technology.
RAID.
USB drives. Google Duo, which I still haven't found on the iPhone, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, right. It's
supposed to be on there, isn't it?
It's supposed to be, unless it was one of those where it was a pre-announcement. I'm not sure, but I didn't see any. I saw people using it in video, but not.
Is it released to US only at this moment in time? And you've got your settings to UK?
Yeah, I just found it on the iTunes website. Sorry, yeah, carry on.
Yeah.
Right. Let's positive note. What positives do you see in the future of video streaming conferencing like this? Where can you see it in 5 years? What do you reckon?
5 years, it'd be a non-event. It'd just be an everyday occurrence. I think so. We'll get like that within 2 years. If we look at ourselves and we go back 40 weeks, we were frightened. Come on, let's just admit it. We were frightened. Now we just think, oh, hey, we're going to have a chat with the guys today. And everybody will like that in 18 months to 2 years.
Well, I'll tell you what I want to do with my industry, and I'm always seen as forward thinking. Yeah. So imagine you've got a conference going on in Birmingham. You've got a conference in Belfast, each taking a turn. Regional meetings, it's called. Mm-hmm. And I said to them, why don't you put it live with a Wi-Fi or even plugged in? Mm-hmm. And let those of us that can't get there that day because we're so busy, at least see, but if you start doing it by video, nobody will come. I says, well, you don't put it all. You put a specialist subject on about X in your industry. Don't give it all. But one particular hot point, people come in and do it, and it's getting people to think like that, What I hope to do later on is, I'm trying to learn a wee bit of German. It's harder than I thought. I'd love to get people who are learning German up to just have a chat.
Okay, can I do a pre-announcement then? That's very timely, Peter. I thank you for lead-in, although you have no idea that you've just unleashed an advert. Next month, September, is the launch of a new show, and the show is called Ask Angelica, or Frag Angelica, and it's German tuition online, and you can ask any question you like about the German language, and you can practice if you come on air. There you are, Peter. Could you join us for Ask Angelica, which will be first week in September?
Natürlich, kein Problem.
That's good. that was brilliant. A serendipity, it must have been. But to go back to your first point about if you have a physical conference and you do video, will people go to physical conference? If you look at social media marketing world, where 3,000 people go to San Diego, yeah, to watch the conference, they still go. You could watch it on video. Did you watch some of it on video, Stephen?
I tend to watch the Apple WWDC presentations on video. Obviously, I'd love to go to California to actually attend, and the reason I'd love to do that is because it's the FaceTime that you get. Excuse the expression. It's the real world interaction, which I think video conferencing can't provide. You get information for sure from video conferencing or from video webinars, what have you, but actually shaking somebody's hand and knowing them gives an extra dimension. But if you're 3,000 miles away or even more, then it's not always possible. So I do like the and also they as they're pre-recorded, like your all your Blabbing for Britons have been, you can dip in and out as you like. Obviously, they're 8 hours behind us, so it's just so convenient for getting information. Yeah. But you'll never ever beat being able to see somebody in the flesh, so to speak.
No, but
it's a great complimentary thing.
To come back to what something you just said, which that's what Peter was saying, and Peter is right, because if you do it on video, you've got and you said it, you've got a permanent recording. It's not just there for the people who are there on the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. It's something that it's something that my industry, the industry I'm in, lacks, and I'm always saying to them we should use video conferencing, we should use training facilities, something recorded online, and then going back and getting CPD points for it, register to log, and they'll send out the link. Stuff like that, and I think that will be the future. Like I meet coaches, and I says, "If you thought of doing it online, I've thought about it." Some women want, or some men want to lose weight. I want to lose weight, and some of them will not leave their houses to go to a slimming club or whatever because they're terrified. People look at their weight, and I've seen it. So you get up there and say, "Listen, you need to lose weight. Yeah, come and see me. We can do a one-to-one, or I can do classes online. Let's just book in. Here's the Eventbrite or whatever. I'll pay your money, and I'll see you then. Here's the link. I'll see you at 10 o'clock this morning, and you can ask any questions. You don't have to come up to camera if you don't want to, but you can ask me questions. Stuff like that. And I think the person that really goes for that will make money. Because I've just thought of something like that now. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. You imagine £5, say £5 to come to something, right? And it's all over Britain, and you get 100 people each time. That's a lot of money.
It adds up. It certainly adds up. I mean, commercially, it makes sense because to do it, as you said, Peter, it's very little cost. It's to all intents and purposes, it's a no-brainer. But it comes back to the original question: is why do Brits not want to appear on camera? But that's a commercial one, isn't it? So, you know, I mean, TEDx will be beamed out, won't it?
Yeah, they're going to be live streaming.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I've got somebody that's got a Facebook website or a Facebook bit to encourage people to come and talk about their services. But how much are you making from it? She went, nothing. I says, you know, start to monetize that amount of people are coming onto your Facebook page by having an event with them, and get somebody to say we're going to sponsor you. You come on, and I'll charge you to come on, and everybody can come on to talk about your industry, and or even if it's £25–50 to come on and say, "Here's my business, folks. Here I am." Incidentally, I've told you I'm waiting for my ancestry to come back. Yeah. Yep. And I think I'm going to do that live. I'm going to encourage people to come up and say, "If I wonder where you're from, let's see where I'm from," and have a laugh with it.
Yep.
You know. Yep. Well, listen, gents, I'm going to have to go because somebody's trying to get hold of me again. Nice meeting you. So okay. I'll say goodbye.
Cheers, Peter. Have a good weekend. See you next week, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Right. Okay. Well, the hour's just flown again, and I think we've sort of had some fun.
We have indeed, and I've just had a text message saying, "Hi, Steve. Been away on holiday. Blah blah blah. Free tomorrow if you want a coffee or chat. Speak soon, Jan." I mean, who Jan is?
Oh, mystery assignations. I don't know. I don't know, Stephen.
It was the wife who sent that just to see the reaction.
It's funny somehow. But you just asked, did we have fun? Yes, we did, and not because of technology, although that's a big thing. It's just the community that we're building.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And you asked about what's 10 years' time going to be like, and Christ, it's going to be always on. I mean,
yeah.
When I worked for EMC, they were sort of showing graphs of the amount of disk storage space that's being used and projected to be used. And I think even those projections couldn't take into account what is going on today. All this, how much disk space are we taking up with this chat and that? It's an amazing thing. And you've got Moore's law. Is that ever going to be broken?
Can you remind us what Moore's law is?
It states something like the increase in the power and processing versus the cost of the chips.
Yeah.
Proportional over time, and it's just staggering. YouTube are adding the equivalent of a 15 years worth of video per day.
Yeah.
And you think, who cares how much it is? It's just a lot of stuff.
And Alfredo made a point yesterday, which I missed one service off my review of alternatives to Blab, and that was YouTube Live, which is Google Hangouts on Air is merging with YouTube Live, isn't it?
That's
they're moving the service over there, so that you could effectively go 8 up. You'll be able to go 8 up on YouTube Live. So I'll have a look at Alfredo, and I'll explain what it is once I understand what it is. But it is an alternative.
He says.
I'm being corrected. That's good. We'll take a look at that. Perhaps.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Moore's law, by the way, was that the number of transistors on a chip would double each year. But it was broken about 6 years ago when it went up by a factor of 10 in 1 year.
Right. And on that note,
just a piece of useless information. What are you going to do?
No.
It's incredible because they're now talking about putting data onto DNA. Incredible amount of storage capacity on a DNA strand. Check that one out, John. Blow your mind.
Indeed.
So this is a 50 billion gigabit hand.
Whoa.
Terabit.
Yes, 50 billion terabit. Sorry, not gigabit. Yes.
Terabit. Terra or Terra.
It was yotta bits.
Land bit. Yeah.
Lambert, it used to be an MP. Lambert.
He went down the chicken girls.
Well, he used to be a Lib Dem, didn't he?
He was a Lib Dem, yeah. He was
dated with a girl.
Yeah, indeed.
And it ended up with one of the twins that was the singing twins, the
girls.
Yeah. We call them girls at our age. They were girls. Oh dear.
In that case, on that happy note, I shall say tatty bye for this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go as well. I've got another new experience Dave. It's been a very big learning for the last couple of weeks since my dad passed, and I've arranged a funeral, which is the first time ever. Yeah. And today I'm going to go and collect his stuff from the home he was in. So
difficult times, John. Just take care, mate.
And to be honest with you, it's not difficult times. It is a new learning experience, and we're trying to turn it around and treat it as a celebration, not as a yeah. So he's having a Battle of Britain coffin with Spitfires and Hurricanes on it, because he's an ex-RAF guy, and no one is allowed to wear black at the funeral.
Quite support that. Right, I'll be off, guys.
Okay, cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thanks everybody watching. See you next week, same time, 10 o'clock. John's still here. I'm still here. I'm going to press the button and go. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday at 10 o'clock. Bye.